Welcome back to the Growth series. I know it has been a while, but bear with me. My life has been pretty all over the place recently. I moved countries. So I went from Romania to France and then to the UK. So I'm now currently living in the UK. I started working at the vet beginning of October. So that's been about 5 months. And yeah, it has been just kind of very big life changes for me, and filming stuff was not really a priority. So as I am a vet, I'm also a coach and I'm an athlete. It just takes a ton of time, and filming also takes a lot of time. And to be fair, I didn't have time to film, to edit and stuff because I'm doing everything myself. So this is why I stayed a long time without filming stuff. But I'm going to film a bit more, at least trying to, because now I'm ending my growth phase. So I spent a lot of time. I think I finished my cut in June. So I started the growth series after that. And yeah, from June to now, so we are in March, beginning of March, 2024, I spent all this time bulking. Like no mini cut, no deficit, only straight bulking. So I pushed food a lot, and now I'm 4 weeks out from starting my prep. So time is coming for prep very soon, and it's exciting, but it's also pretty, I would say, scary because I don't really know how I'm going to look, and I hope I'm going to look good. So we'll see. But for this past month of growth phase, I increased my food a lot and I gained also a lot of weight. So let's see in my data file. So I finished my cut on the 12th of June 2023, and I started my growth phase eating 2,633 calories. And now, so it has been like, so let's say, well, yeah, let's say June, so July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It's not the end of March, beginning of, let's say, yeah, it has been 8 months that I am bulking. So I started at 2,600 something calories, and I'm currently at 4,500 calories, or 400. Let me check. It's just a lot of numbers. No, 4,400 calories. So yeah, went from 2,600 to 4,400. So almost 2,000 calories more in 8 months. And when I started my growth phase, so after a 6 month cut, I was 65. Oh my God. I was 65.6 kilograms. And now I am 85. This morning I was 85.15 kilo, so almost 20 kilo more, which is huge. It's crazy. To be fair, I was extremely lean at the end of my cut. Like I had striations on my pecs, I had very good definition everywhere. So yeah, I was very lean, but still, like I was not stage ready at all. So I gained 20 kilo in 8 months, and I'm eating about 2,000 more calories. So it has been like, I've been pushing hard during this time, my growth phase, definitely. And of course, training very hard. I'm doing about 10,000 steps per day. It didn't change. I'm doing that from the very beginning. So no change for that. The only thing that changed is that, of course, now I'm working as a vet. So I'm doing a lot of hours, minimum 40 hours per week. So it's a lot of work. It's a stressful job, definitely. And yeah, it takes a lot of my time. So that plus coaching, of course, that I still have on the side as like a part-time job, plus training myself. So yeah, time is kind of, it's not the same, of course, than when I was a student. So yeah, and also my sleep is not as good because I don't have like so much free time. So I'm sleeping about 7 hours per night, which is not enough. It's not bad. It's not bad at all, but I would need 8:30, 9 hours to feel good. And yeah, 7 is a bit like, it's not enough for me, but it's not horrendous. So let's say it's not bad, but it's not great. And something that I think many people wonder is for my cycles. So I think one thing which is important to say is that I'm not doing more than 4 cycles per year. So, and by cycle I mean 6 to 7 weeks, not more, and not with crazy dosages. So, because for males it's very different than for females. My femininity and everything else, like my appearance, my voice, everything is important for me to keep. Like I don't mind having my voice a bit deeper, but as long as it's still my voice and not kind of a weird in the middle, like woman to man voice. So my voice currently is absolutely fine, but I want to keep my voice and not having a major voice change. This is very important for me, and of course, like still looking feminine, my face and stuff. So I'm not doing more than 4 cycles per year. 4 cycles per year of 6 to 7 weeks. And also, I'm not doing crazy dosages like at all. I'm not taking crazy drugs. I'm just like doing cycles with Primo. So Primobolan only, only injectables, no oral, like no oral drugs, only injectables one. And I'm also building up my dosage. So, for example, when I started, I didn't start with 300 milligram per week, and I'm still not doing 300 milligram per week. I started pretty low. I started at 35 milligram per week, and over time, cycles after cycles, I increased progressively my dosage. So it's like step by step. When you start with something, you start with a low dose, the lowest efficient dose, and then you assess your body response to it, and you just adjust it every single time. You up the dose when needed, not just as a random thing, and still like monitor your body response, like progress. So good, I would say, good things like gaining muscle mass, looking better, but also the bad things happening, like any kind of things you don't want, because you always have things you don't want from the drugs. It's not always like always and only fairy fairy like princess results. All right, it's like you cannot only have the good things, you also have some bad things with it. So it's just about monitoring everything and then adjusting every single cycle according to that. So let's just take a look at my past years of bodybuilding because I think it's important to also kind of see what happened the last years, because I prepped in winter 2020, I prepped the whole year in 2021 and competed in winter. And it's the last time I competed. And now I'm ending my growth phase, and then I'm going to compete again and prep again. So I think it's interesting to see what happened in between those two preps, and also to see my physique before my last prep and my physique right now. So first thing first, I think it's important, and yeah, like it's not everything, okay? Like food is extremely important, sleep is extremely important, training is extremely important, but also going from natty to not natty is definitely having an impact on my progression. This is why I started enhancement. If it wasn't making a difference, I wouldn't have done that. So I did my first prep in 2021, completely natural, nothing, like no help, nothing. Completely natural, because I think it's important to, as a first prep, just experience it naturally and see if you like it or not, because I don't see really the point of going to the enhancement route with things you don't want, without even competing or trying to reach this kind of level. So I wanted to do my first prep naturally. So I've done it completely natural. And after, when I was done with my recovery phase and everything, after my prep, then I started enhancement. So so my first cycle was in June 2022. And by cycle, I mean just adding Primo to my base things. So in January 2022, I started with TRT because my testosterone levels were very, very low. Like it was 0.2 nanogram per deciliter, which is very low. So yeah, I started TRT on January 2022. But it's just my base. So all the time since January 2022, I'm on TRT. I'm on TRT. I changed a bit the dose during the last years, because you have to find the dose which is working for you. For me, it's about now 6 milligram of testosterone per week. So it's really not a lot. So I'm doing 3 injections of 2 milligram. So this is my base, all the time here. And also GH, so 1 to 2 units. So right now I'm massing, so I have 2 units per day before going to sleep. And when I'm cutting, I have 1 unit of GH per day in the morning, because you don't need more, just for fat loss. So this is my base, GH and TRT. And my first cycle was in June 2022, where I started with Primo 35 milligram per week. And then I've done another cycle at the end of the year. So in pink is my cycles. And you can see that in 2022, I've done only 2 cycles. In 2023, I've done 3 cycles. And in 2024, so far, only 1. So as you can see, I haven't done a lot of cycles, and I haven't been exposed to a lot of drugs. So yeah, I think it's important for people to know kind of what's behind the scene, because it has, of course, a big impact. So I think it's interesting to see how I manage my cycles and the exposure I have to these kind of substances. But yeah, I'm doing, I said, maximum 4, but as you can see here, my max so far has been 3 cycles per year. So it's not a lot of cycles. Definitely not. And you can still make a lot of progress, because, as I said, drugs are not everything. Drugs are helping you. They are kind of magnifying what you're doing. But training extremely hard to failure with a very good technique, and eating a lot, pushing food a lot, and recovering well, sleeping well, everything like that is extremely important. And if you don't have that, you won't have the same progress. Drugs are not going to do everything, definitely not. So yeah, so in 2023, only 3 cycles. Now I'm doing 1 at the end of my growth phase to really push things as much as I can. And then I'm going to start prep in April. 1st of April, I start my prep. And it should be about 20 weeks. So now I think it's nice to also take a look at how I was looking before my first prep and at the end of my first prep, and then how I'm looking right now, because I have a very different physique. So this is how I looked right before my prep in 2021. So what I've done in 2021 is I started a deficit in 1st of January. So this picture is from the 1st of January. So I started prep at this time, but it was not what I've done is a mini cut for 6 weeks, and then a maintenance phase for 4 weeks, and then I started real prep. So I've kind of done like a pre-prep phase and then a prep. So this picture is before my mini cut, so like the very beginning of my deficit thing. So this is how I looked. I was eating about 4,000 calories at this time, but I was kind of doing some kind of mindful eating, so not really counting my calories all the time. But the weeks before, I was about 4,000. So yeah, I was eating about 4,000 calories per day, and I was weighing 71 kilograms. So this is my physique right before prep. Then I spent the whole year basically cutting. I think I cut for I think my fat loss, like whole fat loss phase, was about 8 months. And then I spent about 2 months competing. So yeah, I spent really most of the year 2021 in a deficit. So as I said, completely natural. My physique before was this one, and then at the end of prep, I was looking like this. So very shredded, very shredded. I had striations everywhere, paper thin skin all over, even on my glutes. So I was extremely lean. But I was very small also. I didn't have a lot of muscle mass because the years before I was not really spending a ton of time bulking. So it was a lot of cuts and then small bulk and then cut again. So I didn't have a ton of muscle mass, but I was still peeled and I still looked not too awful. I don't want to be that skinny again, definitely not. But yeah, I was pretty small but shredded, and I just did my best for this first prep, completely natural. So yeah, this is my physique before, and right now I'm 85 kilograms, so versus 71 before starting prep 3 years ago. So yeah, 3 years ago I was 71, now I am 85. So it's almost 14 kilos more. And I'm not natural. So I spent 2 years bulking, pushing hard, not natural. And also I've done I've done a 6 month cut in the middle of it. So like I finished in June, I think I started in December. So I started in December 2022, finished in June 2023. So I spent 6 months cutting, but the rest of the time during these 2 years, it was only bulking. So yeah, and as I said, also not naturally. So with 5 cycles during this time, and then one now. So yeah. So my physique right now is looking like that. Of course, I have some body fat on me, but I also had some body fat on me in 2021 in my pre-prep peak. So yeah, I think it's nice to see the two peaks together and to kind of compare my physique before my first prep in 2021 and my current physique before my prep. So I still have 4 weeks left. So it's not the final version of my physique before prep. My physique may still progress in the next 4 weeks. So it's just like kind of a let's just review things right now. But I think I'll do this comparison again at the end of my growth phase, so we can really have a very good comparison. Accurate before 2021 and before this one. So it will be extremely interesting to see how I look this time around. To be fair, I don't know. I have no idea. I hope I won't look small because it's kind of my worst fear. I'm so scared of looking small on stage. Like I don't want to look small ever again. So we'll see how I look. It will be interesting to see that. So I'm going to start prep 1st of April for 20 weeks, and then I'm going to compete at the end of July, I think, for a first regional, and then I'm going to fly to Romania at the end of August for Olympia Amateur. Then I have one, I think, in September, and another one also in September. So I think I'm going to finish like end of September and start end of July. It may change a bit, but I think it's pretty settled now. So this is my plans for this prep and competing season. So bear with me, we still have 4 weeks left of growth phase, but I just wanted to come over here and just like kind of review what happened these past years, because I don't think I've done that in the past, and I think it's very important to know kind of my background and what happened, and then compare my physique at like in 2021 with this one right now. So yeah, interesting, exciting things coming for me. I can't wait to prep, because like right now I'm eating 4,400 calories, and I'm not going to lie, it's pretty rough sometimes. It's a lot of calories to eat, and with my work it's kind of hard to eat during the day. So I'm sometimes struggling a bit to reach my calories. So I can't wait to eat a bit less and not having to think about, oh my god, I have to eat a ton of food, and kind of running after my meals. So yeah, so just stay around if you want to just follow my progression, like the end of this growth phase and then my prep, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will go well. And as I said again, can't wait to prep. But we have 4 more weeks, so it will be 4 hard weeks of pushing things and training extremely hard. But I'm going to enjoy it, because I love training in off season. I love training when I have a ton of energy, because I'm very strong. I can push really hard, and I have amazing pumps, and I will definitely miss it in prep. So I'm enjoying these last weeks of my growth phase, because like training at the end of prep is just not fun at all. So I'm enjoying the fun now, and yeah, let's go for these last 4 weeks.